Hey guys, so before we start, I just want to ask everybody how they're doing with all the coronavirus pandemic and self-isolation. Obviously, it's not easy uh, with what we're going through, but as a civilization, we will pull through this. We always pull through any obstacles that come in our way. That's one of the greatest things about our species. Anyways, so let's talk. Welcome to Let's Talk. So, what's the concept of this video? If you're new or you're not familiar with it, basically, um, I talk about something that I really just want to get off my chest or something with you, the audience. So, if you really like this concept, make sure to like, subscribe, and yeah, comment if you would like to see more. So, with the world going into really huge shutdown essentially with isolation and all. It's very hard to really talk about much, but one thing I would like to talk about in this video would be Solskjaer. So let's talk. So obviously, the best place for me to start is the word traitor. Oft, Oftentimes, what I've observed from a distance on Twitter is people calling Solskjaer a traitor, and it is clear why he's a traitor, right? He's a traitor because he cares about the club more than Mourinho ever did, more than Louis Van Gaal ever did, more than David Moyes ever did, more than even Ed Woodward and the Glazers ever did. That's why he's a traitor, because really he cares about the club more than us. He's a traitor because he cares about the club as much as we do. He's a traitor because he wants to actually improve players. He's a traitor because he actually wants to build a team that uh, future managers could actually win trophies with. That's why he's a traitor. Now, something that I see a lot on Twitter as well is that like many people are like, well, if Solskjaer loves this club so much, why doesn't he leave so we get a better manager? Well, if Solskjaer is still the manager of Manchester United, that's because he loves this club. If he didn't love this club, he would have left by now. Like he could get like uh, a really high paycheck and just dip like Mourinho, Louis Van Gaal, Moyes have done in the past. The fact that he's stuck around despite what we've gone through is because he loves this club. Okay, so I just want everybody to get that straight. Also, if people think that like Solskjaer only cares about his job and not the club, well, first of all, he does care about the club. If he didn't care about the club, he would never put his petty differences with Matic behind him. Recently, with Solskjaer has done that. He's managed to put uh, whatever he's felt about Matic, and come on, people, including me, are not big fans of Matic. Solskjaer practically binned him at the start of the season. So the fact that like he's decided, you know what, I'm gonna put my differences with Matic aside and put him into my plans and uh, get us to where we need to be, shows that he does care about the club more than his job. That's what people also need to get across in their head, because that's something I also keep seeing a lot in this fan base. One of the things that like kind of get taken away from Solskjaer from his critics, and this is like a very huge positive, is that he's actually improved players in this squad. That's something that like Mourinho, Louis Van Gaal, and David Moyes never did. Um, you think about Rashford and Martial. Well, they're having their best seasons in their career, let alone at United. And on top of that, you look at Aaron Wan-Bissaka. His game's gone uh, better while he's been at United, and Fred looked better. And that might be simply down to Fred actually getting the game time. But again, that's not something Fred was getting under Mourinho. And then you look at Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw's improved as well, and you have to look at his development of Greenwood and Williams. That's the proper way of actually developing players from your academy. So this is something that gets to taken away from Solskjaer, but it is a huge positive. So that's probably uh, something that people need to like look at more. Okay, so the other thing that gets associated with Solskjaer quite a lot is that he's a Glazer puppet. Now this one just makes me laugh because it's kind of frankly it's kind of very ironic because the people that say he's a Glazers puppet they want Pochettino, and let's face it, uh, for most of Pochettino's life as a manager, he's literally spent time sucking up to his bosses. That's how life works. You suck up to your bosses to get what you want. So if that means he's a Glazer puppet, then so are most people in their everyday life. Most managers are puppets to their bosses, and there's a reason why they suck up to their bosses so they get what they want. So you're just making a fool out of yourself if you're constantly like calling him a Glazer puppet because it's frankly it's boring. Now, if we strictly look at Solskjaer's time at Manchester United, well, obviously you have to start by looking at his time as an interim manager. Now, people tend to ignore that, but like it was a crucial period and probably the reason why he got the job. It's not because he's a ex player, because let's face it, the only ex players that the club clearly have looked at is Ryan Giggs and Solskjaer. So being an ex-player is clearly not a criteria to be a manager because they've literally hired David Moyes even. So and some people say he's a clown as well. So uh, being an ex-player doesn't mean is not the reason why he got the job. He got the job because of his time as an interim manager. So frankly, saying that he's an ex-player, so that's what he got the job. That's just kind of very lazy because that's just not true. If they were gonna give ex players the job, then let's face it, Ryan Giggs would be the manager right now, but he isn't. When you got the permanent job, that's where things started getting bad for Solskjaer. But I'm always a strong believer that any manager, if they're given the backing by the board and they're given the proper resources, they will turn it around, which is exactly what we've seen with Solskjaer. Not only was he backed in the summer by uh, getting center back in Harry Maguire, who's uh, become a become our captain. And how many times do you get to see that? Like a new signing comes in and they become the captain immediately. It rarely happens, right? So that's remarkable in itself. And then we get Aaron Wan-Bissaka, who's been the example of consistency. He's the benchmark that most players in this squad should strive to be. And along with that, Daniel James, who's who's been a hit and miss, but he's still done pretty well considering he's come from the championship and his feet. And in January, we brought in Bruno and Igalo, who both made Manchester United into a completely different side. Let's face it, because Lingard and Andreas were not cutting it in attacking areas, and it was very clear to see because we didn't know what to do going forward. Because let's face it, Lingard and Andreas do not have a proper footballing brain, which is clear to see because both of them, as soon as they get the ball into the final third, struggle to think about what to do next. Whereas someone like Bruno, well, he knows what he's gonna do before he even gets the ball. He's like that quick. So Bruno has made a difference to this United side, and and Solskjaer has to be given the credit for that because he was a target for Solskjaer since the summer, and somehow we couldn't get him in in the summer for some reason. But I'm finally glad that we got him in January because of the impact he's made. And look at us now. But because Solskjaer got backed and he was given the resources, it shows if a manager is backed and he's given the resources, results will turn around. So I never get this idea of targeting managers when we're in bad situations. Now, going forward, let's look at things that Solskjaer could improve on as a manager while he's at Manchester United. The very first thing that comes to my mind is consistency. While it's good that we've gone on an 11 game unbeaten streak, it is also something I want Manchester United to do more often in a season. I would rather have us lose one game and then go on an 11 game unbeaten streak, lose one game, go on an 11 game unbeaten streak, than have us be in a difficult time period and suddenly we start winning games again and then we have a difficult time again and then we start winning things again. That's just not going to cut it. We need to start finding more consistency, and that's probably one of the things that Solskjaer has to improve on. The other thing that Solskjaer has to improve on is the style of play. Well, the style of play might be better than what David Moyes, Louis Van Gaal, and Mourinho were playing. It could still be way, way better. And Solskjaer definitely knows this because he's even admitted that there is a certain type of football he wants to play, and we're clearly not even getting close to playing that. But I'm pretty sure if we get better players, we will start seeing more of that. And obviously, players like Jaden Sancho will probably help. But yeah, overall, I don't care what anybody's gonna tell me. I personally think Solskjaer is doing a really good job. I think he could obviously do a better job, but he is doing a good job given what he came in with and what he is supposed to get us to. So in regards to that, he is doing a good job, and it is only going to get better if we continue with him. The a few things that are very key that are also in his favor is that clearly the club back him, the players clearly are in support of him, and he's only going to get better as a manager. So yeah, I think we have to stick with Solskjaer. If I was to rate Solskjaer's uh, time, so uh, since he got the job as an interim manager to now, I would probably say he's out of 10, 7.5. And do I think he's going to be here for a long time? Yes, I do think he's going to be here for a long time because yes, he's going to have players like managers like Pochettino and Nagelsmann and many more that are always going to be shadowing him. I think the fact that he has the backing from the players and the club really want him to succeed. I think he is destined for success, and he's going to be here for a while. So you better get used to it. So that's enough of social. I'm pretty sure you guys are bored of hearing me by now. So I'm gonna leave you with Twitter moment, and there's gonna be a, there's gonna be a lot of them because I haven't made one of these videos in a while. So yeah, I've got a lot to share. Enjoy. So people might have seen that I've been very inactive from Twitter for a while now, and part of that is because of these tweets. I wasn't clearly in the right uh state of my mind when I was tweeting these, and I just wanted to take time to reflect on myself, which is why I I took a while off Twitter, and yeah, I've been back for a few days now, as you can tell. But yeah, so those so it's a bit sad one for this video because I'm really using this as a way of reflecting of what I've learned. So I just want everybody to realize that. Anyways, that's gonna be the end of the video. On the next episode of Let's Talk, I'm gonna be talking about some of the players we should be looking at for the right wing swap. And yeah, so if you make sure to check that out as soon as I'm done recording it. Cheers.